where there is no return for Mark Sanchez. He's a defeated man. He needs a change of scenery. It is not going to happen here in New York.
He'd be a wonderful backup quarterback somewhere.
He'll go somewhere and play. Listen, he's better than anything they got out there in Arizona right now. He's better than a couple.
There's going to be better available. They're not going to take a Mark Sanchez. They'd rather take a guy out of the draft.
What, like Lindley,
much, but they'd
or
rather
like
take somebody out of a
Skelton,
draft,
or like but
they'll steal a young quarterback or a bit. They're not going to take Mark Sanchez.
Right. Well, apparently the draft hasn't worked out very well because they've drafted Lindley, they drafted Skelton, they drafted and then they traded for Cobb.
Who's a young quarterback?
They might
had some success. It's not like you went out and gave the other team the ball 50
But they
times.
also drafted Matt Leinart. They've drafted a lot of guys that haven't worked out, so maybe they want to go the free agent route this time. They may want to do that. They may want to look into a trade. And to be honest, I know you're saying look at the draft, but there is no quarterback in this draft that's anybody's even talking about worth taking. You may not see a first-round quarterback.
If you have bad quarterback situations, you don't go after a guy who turns the ball over 50 times.
Yeah, but
you just don't do it. It's not the right move. You just don't do it, and they're not gonna.
I don't know.
Joey Balls in our chat room throws out the idea of sending Sanchez over to Kansas City. Let them experiment with another AFC quarterback.
No, he's better than anybody in Kansas City. He's better than anybody in Jacksonville. He's better than anybody in Arizona. He's better than he's good enough to play in some spots, but he's not built for the New York media.
He's not going to go to Arizona and get beat up by their terrible offensive line, who can't block and do well. And he's not going to do it. It's just not going to happen. If he goes anywhere, he's going to be terrible and be done after 2 games.
You make it seem like he has a choice.
He's horrible.
He doesn't have a choice if somebody.
What are they going to give him? I mean, maybe for a 4th or 5th round draft pick, maybe even later. You're not giving anybody to him.
No, you're not giving anybody to him, but the Jets aren't going to ask much for him.
Yeah, so you give him a 6th round draft pick, he goes and turns the ball over 10 times in the first 2 games, and they fucking yank him. Oh, sorry.
It's all right. You got passionate right there, Fife.
No, listen, me and you just aren't going to agree on this because I just think that I think you're
I beat my head against the wall trying to talk to you about it. You beat your head against the wall trying to talk to me about it. We don't waver.
Because it doesn't have anything to do with wavering. You're thinking that Mark Sanchez has a choice in this, and he has no choice.
No, I don't think he has a choice. I know he doesn't have a choice, but it doesn't matter. Why are they going to waste anything to get a guy who turns the ball over 50 times after all you've had in the past is quarterback problems? There's better solutions. It's not Mark Sanchez.
You got to also keep in mind.
Ryan Lindley's a better solution.
Alex Smith is also going to probably be a free agent next year.
I'm just saying, but Alex Smith can't play in Jacksonville, Kansas City, and Arizona all at the same time.
Michael Vick's going to be a free agent.
Michael, hey, I
would take Cousins over Sanchez.
Cousins isn't going anywhere.
Himself the job next year if they want to trade him.
Yeah, but they're not trading him.
They can get value for Cousins.
They're not going to trade Cousins.
They can get value.
You never know with Washington.
Well, you do
I'm not
know
saying
because
they're gonna, but you never know.
For the contract they signed him to, it doesn't make sense for them to get rid of him.
You're right,
Think
but
about
you never know. I mean, if you get the right thing in return that gives you a championship piece to a puzzle, you take
Come on now,
it.
stop it. Who's giving the Redskins a championship piece for Kirk Cousins? Let's be serious here. Let's be serious.
Cousins, if he goes out, I'd rather take him than Mark Sanchez any day. Why are you going to go give up? It's a waste. I'd rather use my 4th round pick on a nobody.
I can't argue with you because you have no logic. Why would the Redskins trade Cousins to begin with? They wouldn't even look into the trade. Nobody's going to offer them enough to get Cousins anyway.
It doesn't matter. You never know.
Yeah, you do know.
It's the name I'm throwing out there. Because you're throwing out all these teams who don't have quarterbacks. So you know what? They're not going to go after Mark Sanchez. He's done, dude. He's done. It's over.
And Mark, look, based on what you've seen out of Sanchez right now, you're looking at a career backup. From what you've seen of him, you're looking at a career backup. Now, I know Erich, I know where you're coming from with the fact that Arizona really could use anybody that's better. I mean, look, I could go try out for Arizona's quarterbacks and probably give them a run for their money. Not saying I'd get it, but I could probably give them a run for their money. Jacksonville, Blaine Gabbert was not playing horribly, but he was not playing good football either. And right now they're actually riding the Chad Henne train offensively and don't look that bad. So I don't know if Jacksonville's going to be too concerned about going after a Mark Sanchez. Then you've got who else?
Right, because that Henne train's taking you far.
I'm just saying it's going to take you just as far as Sanchez is taking you.
Listen, somebody out there will take Sanchez. The Jets will get out from underneath this cap hit. It'll happen.
Nobody's going to trade for Mark Sanchez.
Somebody will give something.
Nobody is going to trade for a $9 million contract for a guy they don't trust.
The Jets are going to have to eat it. What don't you guys understand about that? The Jets have pretty much, by making this move to McElroy, have conceded the fact.
You don't buy out contracts on a trade. It doesn't work like that in the NFL. A contract gets traded with the player.
They always find a way to make it work financially.
I don't know on that one, man. I don't think contracts trade. The contract itself goes with the player. I don't think the team making the trade. I don't know for sure. I don't know the way the contracts are written out and all that. You got this?
I'm telling you, but you make it seem like I don't know what I'm talking about. I do know. I know it. And even if they don't trade him, they're going to cut him.
See, that's how I feel.
And even if they cut him, somebody is.
And he's not going to get. He's not. Who's going to sign him?
Somebody's going to pick him up.
Job.
Nobody. You don't have to sign him to a starting job. He'll sign somewhere. He's not going to be out of the NFL completely.
You're saying he's going to start in Arizona next year.
I said he could.
He's backup.
I said he's better than anybody Arizona has. It's better than anybody Arizona's going to draft this year. There are no quarterbacks coming out this year that are worth anything.
A lot of people are projecting Barkley falling all the way to the second. They're saying Geno Smith right now is probably your top-rated quarterback coming into this draft, and that doesn't really say too much.
Exactly. That's my point. He's better than the options that are out there for some teams.
Nobody who has had a problem in the past takes a 50-turnover quarterback and plays it. It just doesn't happen.
Oh, wait, so Phillip Rivers, who has 47 turnovers right now, wouldn't start anywhere else in the league. I mean, you can go through the list.
A touchdown pass. Phillip Rivers can catch an off snap from shotgun. Phillip Rivers can do the little things that Mark Sanchez
Josh Freeman has 41 turnovers. How many people are taking Josh Freeman? So he would find a spot in the league. There is a spot in the league somewhere for Sanchez next year, and I'm not saying it's a starting job.
He does the little things, and he can move. There is no good thing about Sanchez. There's nothing the guy can do right. He doesn't throw well to open receivers. He throws horribly to cover receivers.
When it comes down to that one, I'm actually with Fife. I'm sorry. You can't compare Sanchez to Phillip Rivers and Josh Freeman.
Phillip Rivers has 47 turnovers in the last 2 years. He's only 3 behind Sanchez.
All right, but compare the yards and the touchdowns and the completion percentage, and both of them poop all over Mark Sanchez.
Oh, wait. But also compare the amount of talent Phillip Rivers had around his team the last couple of years, too. This year, maybe not so much, but last year, he still had Vincent Jackson. He still had Tolbert. He still had other guys around.
And you can go back 2 years ago when Josh Freeman, with no talent, led the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to a 10-6 record with no real talent.
That was it.
I'm just saying. I think when you're talking about two quarterbacks that do have interception issues, and I won't argue with you on that. But you're talking about two quarterbacks that actually have showed in this NFL that they can not only play the position, but lead their teams to wins. And that's one thing we haven't seen Sanchez do. You haven't seen him lead his team to wins.
Oh, wait, so 2 AFC championships?
You yourself had said Mark Sanchez is not the reason for that.
But you can't say he didn't. He hasn't won with the team. They've made it to 2 AFC championship games in 4 years.
I believe what Dave was trying to say is he hasn't been able to take a team down in a big game and win it.
How many quarterbacks in this league take their team down in big spots and win games? There aren't many quarterbacks.
There's always the opportunity, and Sanchez will always find a way, more often than not, to screw that opportunity up.
We have a diehard.
That's why we love the league so much. It's parity.
We have a diehard Jets fan in our chat room agreeing with the fact that Mark only got to the postseason his first 2 years because he had a good team surrounding him. The team carried Sanchez to the postseason. Sanchez isn't the reason we went to the AFC Championship games. And a lot of people are going to agree with that one. Even you agree with that one. Yeah, you do. You already have agreed with that one. You have blatantly looked at me and said Mark Sanchez is not the reason that those teams got to the AFC Championship.
He's not the reason.
So that's what she's saying. Sanchez isn't the reason they went to the AFC Championship games.
He was a game manager then. That's what he's good. That's what he can do.
Don't beat around the bush. Yes or no? Is he the reason they got to those AFC Championship games? Yes or no?
He's not the only reason.
No. Yes or no?
It's not a yes or no answer in a team game.
Right now, it is a yes or no answer.
In a team game, one guy can't take you anywhere.
I want a yes or no answer out of you.
You're not going to get one.
Oh, my gosh.
If they had somebody a little better at quarterback, do you think that Jets team with that defense and the kind of the decent player, I mean, they weren't great players around Sanchez, but he had some good players around him. You think they could have won a Super Bowl with that defense?
No, I never thought the Jets were a Super Bowl caliber team. I didn't think they were going to win. I didn't even think they were getting those two AFC Championship games.
You take a Brady or a Peyton and put them on those two teams, I think they win the Super Bowl.
Listen, you could put Brady or Breeze on most teams in the NFL, and they're going to win a Super Bowl. I'll tell you what, you put Brady or Breeze with that awful, awful Arizona team, and I bet you they win something with Larry Fitz there.
They'll at least get to the playoffs. Look, you see the difference in that team since Warner left. There's no question what that team could do with a quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, you could go from awful to good.
Well, yes, an elite quarterback makes a difference. Our point, though, is that Mark Sanchez, not the reason the Jets got to those AFC Championship games. A lot of people say
that. By the way, a lot of people, including yourself, Dave, have told me the Giants did not make their 2 Super Bowl runs because of Eli.
No. I said they didn't make the 2007.
No,
Super
you
Bowl
said
run.
last year they did not.
Don't even try it. I said the 2007 Super Bowl run was thanks to the 2,000-yard running backs they had and an intense pass rush. I gave all the credit to Eli Manning for the 2010 Super Bowl run, or 2011. 15 fourth quarter. Dude, don't try putting words. I know what I said on that one. I'm sorry. I do. That one I know. I gave credit to Eli for that second Super Bowl run. He played like, I told you, winning that one, in my opinion, put him at the table with the elites. I've said that before. The first one got him in the room because of that amazing play at the end of the game to Tyreek. It got him in the room. But it didn't put him at the table. He was one of the guys on the outside of the table taking notes for his mentor. That second one, when he led them in the games and was averaging 300 passing yards a game in the playoffs and 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, yes. That one I give credit to Eli Manning for. No question about it.
To get back to our original point, though, I think Sanchez plays elsewhere next year.
I think he backs up.
Fife, do you think he plays somewhere else, though?
I don't think nobody's picking him up to be a starter, trading for him to be a starter.
Okay, that's not the question. The question is he going to play on a different team other than the Jets next year?
Yeah, that's all I wanted to know.
That's the question.
He'll be somewhere.
Okay, so you don't think he's with New York?
Nobody's going out and getting him as their...
I never said anybody was going to get him as their starter, by the way. I just said there are a few teams that have worse quarterbacks than him. That was my point.
I don't think he plays with the Jets, and if he does, then he's going to have to completely renegotiate his contract. That simple. If he wants to stay a Jet...
He doesn't want to stay a Jet. The New York media's beat him down.
He got death threats on Monday night.
Somewhere, California, something, backing up for somebody.
He was getting death threats on Monday.
Talk about another team, Oakland.
Go join Carson Palmer.
I mean, he's pretty much on his way out there.
I can see that.
I'm just saying, there are spots in the league where Sanchez can go.
You're right. Oakland is good because I think he can sit there and back up Palmer. And then when Palmer's completely done, then they can get somebody else. But it's not going to be Sanchez.
I'm just not going to sit here and
So, AKA, bottom line, we all agree Mark Sanchez probably not a Jet next year.